So once again, I'd like to profusely apologize for what I said before. I now truly think that the interiors of Ferraris and the capacitive touch buttons are all excellent, and I really, really like and respect the brand itself. What I said before, it was a long time ago. Everyone says dumb things when they're young, right? Basically what I'm saying is that I'm sorry, and I would really like it if we could borrow a Ferrari press car once again. How was that?
Yeah, that was good. That works. Because it's been years, right? This is why we're doing this.
It's been years, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good. So exactly like that. Hang up with me. Call Ferrari. Maybe we got a chance.
100%. I'm gonna do that right now. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Bye. Watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the Dodici Cilindri.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a hard time with that one.
Yes, the controversially named 12Cilindri, or however you want to say it. And despite Thomas's courageous attempts to make amends with Ferrari head office, this one has been provided to us by a local owner and friend of Throttle House, Toronto Carnut, whose Isetta and Countach we featured in the past, but his collection goes well beyond that. This car represents the latest in a long line of front mid-engined V12 Ferrari Grand Tourers. It starts at around $500,000, but if you get the Spider, like the one we have today, it's more. That said, if you're not in the mood for an SUV, its unassisted, naturally aspirated V12 sort of puts it in a class of 1. But in the real world, does that actually matter? Let's find out.
If you're new to Throttle House, we do car reviews, track tests, and quite a lot of messing around. So subscribe and enjoy the show. All right, the Medici soliloquy. Whoop. Okay.
That's not a slow car, is it?
That is really, really quick.
500 pound-feet of torque. That's only a bit more than a BMW M3.
Oh, okay. It didn't do that crack on the launch.
No.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, the upshifts are excellent.
Oh my lord!
It feels like each time you upshift, you're being dive bombed by the biggest mosquito of all time. That sort of.
Yeah, exactly. But then there's also a small explosion.
Oh,
Christ! What a car! Woo!
yeah, this is all Ferrari.
Okay. So, this is I guess the final version of the F12, effectively.
Well, it was suggested that the 812 would be the final version. So
Right.
it's the final until there's another final.
Of course, yeah.
And it's not the performance version, right? The F12 got a TDF. The 812 got a Competizione.
There's gonna be crazier versions
There's
of
going to
this.
be something of this.
You know what, though? It's not as insane right off the bat.
No, it's more muted.
The engine is quite wonderful. It does not have the same... The shifts are next level, but the engine doesn't have that same, it hits you right in here
Yes.
and makes you scream, holy shit. It doesn't have that.
Well, that's why I'd only get the Spider of this, because, you know, for the Dimiti so streaky, they made it so that you can have a hard top,
Yeah,
in which case you get the
exactly.
best of both. It's not a light car, it's about 3,900 pounds.
Yeah, it doesn't feel It doesn't feel heavy. It feels like a Ferrari.
Yes.
Right? It has that sense of weightlessness in a straight line and under braking as well, not just in the corners. Right?
It drives pretty.
It just drives pretty. You said that first. You own that phrase, and it is the most accurate representation of how a Ferrari drives I've ever heard.
But even the owner, even Toronto Carnot, complains that this is too GT for him. It's not as exciting as something like the 812.
The F12 and the 812 were crazy. My Dicky Saliki is not crazy. It's just really good. That's what I'm learning right now.
Yeah. But it is good enough to part with what's probably almost $1 million Canadian dollars.
I know, it's so much money.
And Ferrari are quite, I don't want to say anything bad about them, but they're quite stuffy and elite. And they're quite proud of it. For instance, the press release for this car, at the top, it says the Lychee Squeegee for the few. That's what it says, for the few.
What for the few? People that have $1 million Canadian. That's who
that's a weird thing. Well, first of all, Spock would be very upset with that. All right? But also, the word perfect appears in the press release 6 times. That's one more than the Rolls-Royce Spectre
that
black
sounds
badge.
like more than Rolls-Royce. Yeah.
So they do love themselves.
Yeah, they do.
That feels so light.
It's so light.
Yeah, and it's not.
Not a ton of engagement from the front, actually. I think that there's more that could be done with the steering to kind of bring you into the driving experience.
Do you remember the Temerario press release that had like 16 pages of how they actually did manage to make the exhaust super sick?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to listen to what the perfect Ferrari press release says?
I'll slow down and you tell me. What is the perfect?
The new exhaust system.
Yes.
Developed to allow the car to comply with the latest emissions requirements.
Yep.
Introduces a ceramic catalytic converter coupled with a particulate filter. This is the most advanced emissions reduction technology available.
Okay.
So it doesn't sexy it at all.
No.
So that's a bit sad.
Ferrari's very wordy in their press release. I started reading it and then I stopped reading it.
Does that mean
I got bored. I really like this stuff.
So in reality then, are you experiencing the aspirated torque shaping?
I'm not sure I got to that part.
It's a patented technology by Ferrari.
Okay. What is aspirated torque shaping?
It means that in 3rd and 4th gear, because the torque from this 6.5 litre displacement is available so low at 2,500 RPM, they've had to change the torque curve to make it feel, even though it is naturally aspirated, more progressive without apparently impinging on acceleration. So they've made it so it feels more gradual.
Hold on a second, sorry.
Yes.
You can't change the torque curve or the way the torque feels without impinging or changing acceleration.
It improves the perception of the torque without impinging on acceleration, all to the benefit of driving pleasure.
But okay, whatever.
Therefore, the Da Vinci Secreti is still a very enjoyable, naturally aspirated.
So this is 3rd gear, and
it should feel like it builds.
Obviously it builds right to 9,500 RPM.
But even more buildy.
It's all the buildy.
It's even more.
Look at it.
It's Bob the Buildery.
It builds so well. There's absolutely no fault with the engine whatsoever, other than I think that if you'd own this car, you'd want to put a slightly louder exhaust on it.
Yes.
Because it's just, especially at low revs, there's really nothing happening.
Yeah, I drove this on the highway for a long time, and it's just wind noise.
Yeah, this is a very, 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 very good car, and there's pretty much nothing like it anymore. So we can sit here.
I just wish they dialed it just a little.
Sure, but you dial it yourself. You got $1 million to spend on one of these. You do whatever the hell who cares? It doesn't matter what we sit here and blab on about. In the end, this is how many horsepower?
819.
An 819 horsepower, naturally aspirated V12 front engine rear drive Ferrari.
All that's left then is the looks.
Yeah. All right, so the Diddy So Creepy, I think, is a good-looking Ferrari.
Yes, it is, but it is different. Ferrari say they've gone less sculpted, more monolithic.
Oh, for God's sake, what is monolithic? We keep hearing this.
No, but you said that you liked the 7 Series doing the monolith thing.
No, they updated the 7 Series. That doesn't mean I like it. It just means that it doesn't actually make me want to vomit. It's just okay.
Whatever it is, it really works here.
This
is the upset, isn't it? The black lipstick.
That doesn't bother me at all. I think this thing looks fantastic, especially from like this level. When you get like the straight across lines, it looks really, really good.
And directly front on.
Directly front on is fantastic. This is a really good looking Ferrari. I think that the F12 is the best of this lineage.
And the TDF of that.
The TDF is
really mean.
Oh my God, so nice.
So, well, how do you think that compares to the 849 Testarossa then? The newest Ferrari.
That one I don't like. I don't know why.
So there you go.
I
Maybe we just went a bit too far into the digital thing.
Maybe I need to see it in person.
Have you seen the size of the clamshell on this?
You mean the hood?
The hood. It is
no.
the biggest I've ever seen, because the car's wide. Look at that. A family of 12 could eat off of that.
It's huge. Look at it.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Apparently in 2023, the Genesis G90 had the biggest clamshell hood of all time, with a 2.4 meter area. Because I looked up to see if this was it, and I don't know the area of this, but it's got to be bigger.
Why is the tire touching the wheel well?
Connectedness.
Nope. That's just a...
Yeah.
Oh, also, when you try and put the soft top down in this thing, it catches...
Hang on, it's a hard top.
Sorry, when you try and put the hard top down in this thing, when it lifts up the flap in the back, it catches on one of the arrow wings and makes a loud snap.
I find it to be a reassuring click to tell you it's there.
Reassuring click.
The engine looks pretty good though.
Of course it does.
It does beautiful. Also look like, you know the guys that use the jetpacks on the water?
Yep.
It looks like he's been shoved under there with his arms.
He crashed really hard into the front of this Ferrari.
Poor guy.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, all in all, it works pretty damn well.
It does work. I really, really like looking at this thing. I'm not 100% sure about the rear, but it's fine. Should we look at the interior?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's a few things to point out. I mean, I won't point them out because then we will never get a new Ferrari.
No, you called and you apologized.
That's right, I did.
Yeah.
All right. There it goes.
Espresso!
That's the warning to take a break, James. It's not saying, quick, have an espresso before you drive the car.
Yeah, it's got room for one.
Yeah, I understand.
That's because the deleting the history is so livable.
Yeah, it is, the deleting history. Are we done now?
No,
we're done.
I'll do it until the day I die.
Okay.
I would love to hear what you guys have.
Anyway, so this is obviously genuine trash. and I get to say that. You can't be mad at me, Ferrari, because they have offered to replace these steering wheels at your cost.
Yeah. With ones with buttons. I think it's like 30 grand.
It's like 30 grand.
Yeah.
They're like, well, fine, but we'll do it. And now all of the new Ferraris do not have this steering wheel. They have one with button version. And then there's the Luce, which has a totally different interior.
That's very different. I will say that part of the reason I had a problem with the capacitive touch buttons was because on things like the 296 and the Roma, it put the CarPlay into the gauge cluster.
Yeah, so you had to use this thing.
So you had to use that, and it was dangerous while driving.
Terrible.
Whereas now, at least you have this, which, you know, I don't want to use the S word because it's a Ferrari, but it is something Stellantis-y about this.
I see.
I don't know. I think maybe the Maseratis have one that drops down like this, the Grecale and stuff. But it does work. You know, the quality of the screen's good.
But you know what? Listen, that's always kind of been the case with Ferrari. There's things in, like, look, that's the center console. There's things in here that make you go, ooh, but then also at the same time, all of the hides have a nice coefficient of friction, the right sheen. It's comfortable. The carbon fiber is beautiful. The dashboard design is stunning. That's just a very Italian way of doing a car interior. These are cool though. These vents are really neat.
Yeah, well, I've also got my own screen here which shows performance. It's showing me that your front two tires are cold right now already.
Understeer, baby.
And if I go back, it's just off.
That's off, and then you go back. You're just gonna click that back button.
Yeah.
Just click that back button right there.
There we go.
There you go. That worked the first time. We'll cut out all the other attempts. Yeah. No, go back again. Just click it once though. It's the only time you.
I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. I think my fingers are the same temperature as the screen.
Oh.
Stop creaking the car.
I'm not. I just am existing in it.
But to parrot you, I wouldn't mind a real gauge cluster.
I think it would really, really add to the experience.
Why have they done the shadows on it like that? That looks like an escape room animation welcome message thing.
Yeah, it does.
We found the murderer. Like, it doesn't do what that.
Listen,
Yeah.
you are continually going on and on about these interiors, James.
No, I think
it's time you look at the big picture, okay, and don't get so lost in the minutia of poor design.
Fine. What I will say then is, this is a lovely car.
Yes.
It is more muted than its predecessors.
Yes, but I think that is part of its personality, and I enjoy that about it.
But I would wake it up.
Would you?
I'd
No,
I'd
fair
knock
enough.
on the door of one of those aftermarket things.
Yeah,
What can you
fair
do?
enough.
It's the only naturally aspirated V12 Grand Tourer in existence.
Yes, you might as well let it scream, right?
Yeah.
I think this car is a net positive. I think it's a really good car.
Agreed.
So in isolation, the two-teethy BG is a lovely car. Sorry, but its predecessors were more wild and its current competition is more exciting. Ferrari seem to have taken this down a more subdued, easier to drive, easier to live with, classier route, which is confusing, because if you want a more understated, pretty Ferrari Grand Tourer, they make the Amalfi for a lot less. But there are those who will say, V12 or die, and I suppose we can't argue with that. Thanks for watching.
Buddy, you're a big boy playing in the streets, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, big disgrace. Everybody better put you back into your place. We will rock you. We will. We should fade out.
This feels like a DVD select screen.
You're gonna leave that whole thing in
Yeah,
there?
yeah, but it's like a DVD select screen. And then that's the end of the Delete Sassini.
Jesus, okay.